In the latest Funkin update, Pico was added as a playable character. This was a long time coming, and I'd say the wait was worth it. This update showcases just how much effort goes into adding a playable character, with not only their own vocals and mixes of songs, but also the ability to play any non-direct backing track of a song that's currently in the game. With Pico now at our fingertips, we can't help but look into the future. So today, I'd like to cover who could potentially fill those remaining 7 slots we see in the character select screen. Let's get into it. To start off, I just wanted to say that as of right now, we have no official confirmation of the next playable character.
That's right, wrap it up. Video's over. We're done.
Everything we're going to talk about is pretty much speculation. So way back in 2020, when Funkin originally released on Newgrounds, we were given a teaser trailer which ended with this now infamous picture of 4 future playable characters coming to the game. So to rip the band-aid off early in the video, it is confirmed that this list isn't an 100% guarantee anymore. Back then, the idea for playable characters was much different, with them being only visual and vocal swaps while the songs stayed the same. Seeing how much effort is going into just one playable character now that Pico is out, we can tell that the inclusion of additional characters goes far beyond that simple skin swap. With that being said, that doesn't mean that characters on this list aren't going to be playable, other than, you know. Now that we have a good look at the character select screen, we can now tell that there are an additional 7 characters we're going to be able to play as in Funkin. Back in May of 2021, when the Funkin Kickstarter launched, there was a $5,000 tier that gave one of 5 playable character slots in the game. All 5 have been claimed, so does that mean only 2 of these 7 slots are non-Kickstarter characters? Nope. It was confirmed recently in a Phantom Arcade stream that the Kickstarter characters are going to be given their own special treatment as per the reward tier, just not as thorough as base game playable characters. The addition of these Kickstarter characters is going to implement them in a way that's fun for everyone, according to the previously mentioned Phantom Arcade stream. When this update dropped, many members of the community began digging through files, GitHub repos, FLAs, the works to get any scrap of information they could, and they did not come up empty-handed. Within the game files and FLAs are concept and placeholders for the character select screen. The character roster appeared to be much larger in the original concept, with 20 possible slots for potential characters. What's most interesting is that it appears that the player would have picked their character and opponent, likely then being given a list of the songs that have both of those characters, as opposed to picking your dipshit and being sent back to free play. Alternatively, this could be the concept for the online multiplayer mode, a tier that was reached during the Kickstarter. The icons displayed here don't necessarily confirm that these are upcoming playable characters and are likely placeholder icons just to see how they would look on this menu. The same can be said for the playable characters within the placement and care select tempt images currently within the game files. Images that exist to get the menu aligned properly in engine. Notice how Boyfriend uses Daddy Dearest's icon in these examples. Pico's placement in this example image is consistent with his actual position in game, but notice how there's another familiar icon among them. Normally I'd say the fact that Tankman's icon is on the screen doesn't mean anything, but there's actually some evidence that the face of Newgrounds could be upcoming. First of all, in the officially released FLA for Tankman's assets, there are misanimations. They aren't implemented in-game, but we know they exist. In addition to this, just like Pico, Tankman's sprites are left-facing on his sprite sheet, as the player is always on the right side of the stage. There's also this nameplate found within the playable Pico update FLAs that shares its look with Boyfriend and Pico's on the character select screen. And this currently unused voice line for Tankman, who seems to be mocking Daddy Dearest.
Old man's got moves. Bummer you raised a whore, though. Ooh.
So as of right now, it does feel like all roads lead to Tankman. As of the Weekend 1 update, Tankman's cutscenes have been replaced by MP4 videos that play before songs, as opposed to the cutscene playing out in the engine like they did initially. Personally, I think this is the result of reworking the way the Tankman cutscenes work with texture atlasing using Flix Animate, so that when Tankman runs his mouth, it isn't taxing on hardware resources. It would make sense that they would want to figure this out if Tankman starts each of his songs with an insulting one-liner like the one heard before. As for another character from that infamous list, HAAAANK has not been unconfirmed as upcoming. Does that mean he'll be playable? Again, not 100%, but seeing the Madness protagonist in Funkin in an official way would be really cool considering the shared Newgrounds roots. HAAANK has been confirmed to have an upcoming level on stream by Phantom Arcade, and with the art teasers he's dropped as well, it's pretty much just a matter of time for when we're gonna see him. So, in short, still a possibility. Speaking of, Ritz the Rat from Ninja Muffin's previous game Ritz has also not been unconfirmed as upcoming either, but unfortunately if they do make an appearance, they will not be playable afterwards, as confirmed by Phantom Arcade. At first I thought Miku was just a pipe dream, but with each update coming out revealing the Funkin crew working alongside industry professionals, the idea doesn't seem too far-fetched. Another possibility is that one of the playable character slots will go to your custom character, as one of the early Kickstarter goals that was reached is a character creator. I kinda seem to have spiraled into evidenceless speculation like I'm guessing the next Smash Bros. Roster. Here, how about Master Chief, Dante, Mario, and Gwimbly? There you go. Check back in a few years and see if I'm right. Something I find a lot of people don't consider about the upcoming characters is that when they think of the potential additions to the game, it's either Newgrounds characters or characters already in Funkin. But the more likely case is that we're going to be seeing playable characters we haven't even met yet. We do know that the team has been doing pre-production work on at least a few of the upcoming playables, and very likely already know who the remaining 7 will be. The main story of Funkin hasn't progressed since the Tankman update of April of 2021. So now that the next destination update is going to be a week, as seen in the roadmap teaser, we can finally get back on track with the story of our cyan-haired little friend. It was confirmed on stream that not only is week 8 against a unique opponent, but they pose a massive threat to both boyfriend and girlfriend. We also strangely have confirmation on the name of a week 9 song, Homicide, and unfortunately also confirmed that it's not against Hank. You'll be there soon, buddy. One of the results of the Playable Pico update is people adding their favorite characters and OCs to the character select screen, and honestly I love to see it. That and the fan-made Pico mixes of bass and mod Funkin' tracks I keep seeing just remind me why it's so cool to be part of this community of incredibly talented people. So with all that said, who do you think is coming to Funkin'? Alright, that's enough from me. Until next time.